in this video I want to tell you about the elaboration from the question listening. Okay, so number one, why we choose the answer is B, because the picture demonstrate the racing men on their bicycle. So number two is the best answer is B, because one of the two men is not reading the newspaper standing in front of the scaffolding, and both of them are not sitting on bench. And number three, the best answer is B, because the musician plays violin, and violin is kind of stringed instrument. And number four is D, because the weather is sunny and there are some visitors. And then number five, the best answer is B, because there is no elevator and there is no bridge, and the ladder is winning shape. So the part 2 is question and response. Number 11 is the best answer is B. I don't think I will have time today. The reason is the person is asking if you would send the invoice for them. Okay. And then number 12 is the best answer is C. Sorry, I don't have one, because this is a direct response to the rescue for a pencil. Saying I don't have one makes sense in this context. And then the last one is you didn't read the sign on the door, did you? So the best answer is B. Sorry, I didn't see it, because this answer acknowledges that you didn't notice or read the sign. Okay, thank you guys.
Okay, so for the named question, could you call me a taxi? The correct answer is A. Certainly, please wait here. Why? This response politely agrees to the request, which is appropriate in this scenario. Meanwhile, the option B is irrelevant to calling a taxi, and then the option C is unrelated unless asked about the cost of the taxi, which wasn't asked. And the next is you used to work for a magazine, didn't you? The correct answer is A, only for 6 months. Why? The question is about past work experience, so a response regarding the duration of that work is the most fitting. Meanwhile, the option B is irrelevant because the question isn't about the magazine's price. Uh, as well as the option C is unrelated to past work experience. And then the next is why did the man exchange the black shoes? The correct answer is they were too tight. Why? The conversation mentioned that the shoes were a bit tight, which is the reason the man exchanged them. The other option do not match the explanation given in the conversation. The shoes were not exchanged because of the color, size, or style preferences, but due to their tightness. And then the next is why do they have leave to leave soon? Why do they have to leave soon? Sorry. The correct answer is to catch a meeting. Why? The conversation mentions that the meeting starts at 11 a.m. sharp and they cannot be late. Therefore, they need to leave soon to attend the meeting. The other options do not fit the context. The situation is about a meeting, not travel or entertainment. And the next for how long will the factory be closed? The answer is until the end of the year. Why? The conversation states that the factory will be closed temporarily due to machinery issue, and it is expected to reopen in December. The other options are not supported by the conversation, which clearly mentions that the closure is temporary and expected to last until December. And then the next is, what will the woman do later? The correct answer is go to a computer class. Why? The woman says, I will have plenty of time because I've already finished my assignment, and then mentions that she is on the way to her computer class. And then the other option are not mentioned in the conversation. And then the next is, what does the woman tell the man to do? The answer is, ask someone on the seventh floor for assistance. Why? The woman suggests that the man should ask one of the other clerks when you get there in the menswear department on the seventh floor. This implies asking someone for help when he reaches the locations. The other option either misinterpret the woman's advice or mention locations that aren't mentioned in the conversation. And then the last question is, what will be discussed today? The correct answer is the new computer system. Why? The announcement mentions that in addition to updates from each department, the new computer system will be discussed. The system will help with storing customer information and make file sharing more convenient, but the focus is on the system itself. Why we don't choose other option? Because other options such as schedule holidays, development changes, or customer information are not the primary topics for today's discussion. So this is my last number I will discuss. We will move to the next student. Thank you.
And next question, what is the purpose of changes? The answer is to make information easier to store. Why? The speaker explains that the new computer system will make it much easier to store all of our customer information and improve file sharing. The purpose is to enhance information storage. The other options are not mentioned as the main purpose of the changes. Next question. What will happen later in the month? The answer is training session. The reasoning is the announcement states there will be a training program later in the month, where everyone will have the chance to learn more about the new system. And the other option, like file programming, updating schedule, and customer meetings, are not mentioned in the context of the announcement. Next question. What is probably Nick Hancock's job? The answer is a radio host. The answer is a radio host. And why? Because that is talk about being broadcast on BBC Radio 5, and Nick Hancock is hosting the weekly news reviews. This makes him a radio host. The other option don't fit the context of the talk, as Nick is specifically hosting a radio program. Next question. What is the purpose of this talk? The answer is to conclude a program. Why? The reason is at the end of the talk, Nikako says, and that brings us to the end of the next edition of Weekly News Review. This indicates that the purpose of the talk is to conclude the program. The other options, introduce someone, discuss news, or show fashion trends, are part of the program, but the main purpose is to class show. Next, the part 5, incomplete sentence. The first question, the professor discussed for youth theories, blah blah blah, the origin of the universe. The answer is about. Why? The reason is the preposition about is commonly used when referring to topics or subjects of discussion. Concerning and regarding are also possible, but about is the most natural and commonly used in this context. And then we are next to the second question. The new technology has revolutionized the way we blah 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 information. The answer is obtained. The verb obtain is correct because it fits the subject and tense of the sentence. We obtain. Obtains would be incorrect because it would require a singular subject, he, she, it. And obtaining or obtains would not fit grammatically here. The third question, the students were asked to present their research findings, blah blah blah, to class. The answer is to. Why? The reason is because present to is the correct preposition when talking about presenting something to an audience or crowd. To an audience or crowd in or on would not work in this context. The fourth question, this year emphasizes the importance of effective communication, blah blah blah. Achieving comedy goals. The answer is for, because for achieving is the correct present because it shows the purpose of our reason for the importance of communication in relations to achieving the goals. To or on would not be would not correct in this context. And next will be presented by our sister.
Number 5. The book provides a comprehensive overview blah 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 modern art movements. Answer of. Reasoning. The correct preposition to use when talking about an overview of something is of. We typically say an overview of a subject. 6. The research team conducted experiment to determine the effects of climate change. Answer 2. Reasoning. To determine is the correct infinitive form. It expresses purpose, the reason for conducting the experiments. The other prepositions don't fit grammatically. Number 7. Blah blah. By the end of the semester, students are required to submit their final projects. Answer by. Reasoning by indicates a deadline. At or on would imply a specific point in time, but by suggests the action must happen before or at that time. 8. The candidate demonstrates strong leadership skills throughout the interview, blah blah blah, the interview process. Answer throughout. Reasoning throughout is the correct preposition because it indicates that leadership skills were demonstrated across the entire interview process, from start to finish. During could work, but throughout better conveys the continuous nature. 9. The company plans to expand its operation, blah blah blah, entering new markets. Answer by. Reasoning. By is used to indicate the method or means of doing something. Through could be a possible alternative, but by entering is the most natural phrasing in this context. 10. The documentary explores the impact of globalization, blah blah blah, culture diversity. Answer on. Reasoning. On is the correct preposition when talking about the impact something has on something else. In or to would not fit in this context. Part 6. Error recognition. 1. The professor asked the students to complete their assignments by Friday. The error is in there. Correction, there. Reasoning. There is a location or direction, while there is a possessive pronoun indicating ownership. The correct word should be their assignments. 2. The company is currently in the process of hiring new employees for the marketing department. Error, hire. Correction, hiring. Reasoning after the phrase in the process of. We need a gerund verb in ing form, not the base form of the verb. The correct form is hiring.
Start from question number 3. The question is, what are some symptoms of Parkinson's disease? The answer is uncontrolled shaking, difficulty moving muscle, and loss of balance. Why is this the correct answer? Because the reason is the article lists these as primary symptoms of Parkinson's disease caused by a lack of dopamine in the brain. And go to number 4. Why did the study on coffee consumption and Parkinson's disease find? The answer is answer number D. Men who drank more coffee were less likely to develop Parkinson's disease. The reason is why this answer is correct. This answer is correct because the study revealed that men who drank the most coffee were 5 times less likely to develop Parkinson's disease than those who drank no coffee. And go to the question number 5. What is the role of dopamine in Parkinson's disease? The answer is number. The question is number D. The correct because dopamine help control muscle movement. The reason is the article explained that dopamine is essential for muscle control and its depletion leads to the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And then the next is question number 6. What is the potential reason why caffeine seems to prevent Parkinson's disease according to Dr. Rose? The correct answer is number C. Caffeine increased dopamine levels because Dr. Rose suggests that caffeine might increase dopamine levels, which could help prevent the development of Parkinson's disease. And then question number 7. Why does Dr. Rose suggest that caffeine may prevent Parkinson's disease? Because the correct answer is number D. Caffeine protects against nerve cell destruction. Why this answer is correct? The reason is Dr. Rose hypothesized that caffeine might prevent the nerve cell destruction responsible for Parkinson's disease. And the H question, what is the main limitation of the study on coffee consumption and Parkinson's disease? The correct answer is number D. It did not consider that the impact on women or other ethnic groups. The reason is the researchers acknowledge that the result may not apply to women or other ethnic groups, as the study only focused on Japanese American men. And the 9th question is, what is the main finding of the study on coffee consumption and Parkinson's disease? The answer is number A. Men who drank more coffee were less likely to develop Parkinson's disease. Why is this answer correct? Because the reason is the study found that men who drank the most coffee were significantly less likely to develop Parkinson's disease. And the last question is number 10. The word destruction. In the statement, he suggests that caffeine might somehow protect against that nerve cells destruction that caused the disease. Paragraph number 7, line 3 has closest meaning too. The correct answer is number C, breakdown. Because in this context, destruction refers to the breakdown or degeneration of nerve cells, not something explosive or literal destruction. And this is all for my question and answer this report. And thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
เสร็จแล้วจ้า